Hey and welcome back to Main Irish Angling, and I'm back in Stow. I happened to be dropping in for a few bits of tackle. Derek was making a few videos, and so he asked me to stand in and do some more spiel on the carp section because he knows I'm an avid carp angler. So since I've been here last, the quarter range alone has exponentially grown. He has a lot more stuff in from solar, and he has some real nice little bits that I don't even want to tell you about because I want to buy them before anybody else gets their hands on them, so I have the edge. But in fairness now, he has pretty much all the quarter range minus a few bits. In particular, the quarter stow indicators. Now, I actually bought a set of these the last time I was in Main Irish Angling, and I've used them, I've caught on them, and I have to say they're a great implementation of an old bobbin system. They're more designed for slackline fishing, which, you know, has become more common these days, especially on smaller waters, because the fish are becoming so pressured, and you know, slackline fishing is a very, very popular and crafty method of hooking the old wary carp. Now, to complement the quarter stows is the Subline. Now, Subline is one of those lines that's in the middle ground. It's not a fluorocarbon, and we all know fluorocarbons sink like a stone. It's not a fluorocarbon, but it's not as buoyant as, say, a normal casting line. Subline is very popular in the UK. I've done a lot of research on this lately, and from all accounts it's very good. I've spooled up on it, I've used it, and I have to say I'm using it in the 12-pound green. I have no issues with it, and it's limited use I've had so far. I've caught on it, and it seems a fairly nice line. Now, it's not an out-and-out casting line. Now, anything up to 100 yards is going to be, you know, no problem with this. Once you go above that, you're probably into a more dedicated casting line. But as I said, Subline seems to be very popular in the UK. Now, to complement the stow indicators and the Sublines, they also have all the stow weights that you need to put on the actual indicators if you're fishing a little bit more at range. Stow bars, I have these as well, and I only bought them because I wanted to look real tarty on the bank. They are functional, they do serve a purpose, and that purpose is that if you are fishing a bit tight, locked up, or two snags, you don't want to fish a slack line in those situations. You know, there are occasions where a carp can take on a very fast take, pull your rod actually off your buzzer. So by using the stow bar, it'll actually keep it in place, lock it in, and you won't lose a rod. As I said, they've got a whole gamut of hooks, lines. Tell you what I've been using a lot of the end trap, and I have to say I really like it as a coated braid. They've got end trap soft and end trap stiff. I've used both, and both have different properties. Obviously the soft it will take on the contours of weed and silk and whatever else you have, whereas the end trap stiff is more for like making a stiff boom. Really good systems. The quarter funnel web I've been using a lot, and I have to say I find it superb. Here's a real natty little thing that they've got in. I really don't want to be telling you about this because this stuff is so cool, and let's face it, if you're fishing on any of the lakes that I'll be on, this is definitely going to give you an edge. It's the Solar Weed Effect Ultimate Camouflage, and what it's designed to do is you use your normal hook length, but you put this down it, and it will actually make your hook length look like a piece of weed as opposed to a hook length. And believe it or not, especially in clearish water, carp are able to identify different items of your rigs. So it's all about camouflaging on the bottom, and a lot of guys are using this. Maybe it's a bit overkill, but you know what, if it gets you a fish, boosts your confidence, then who is wrong to buy it? Now, as I said, they've got all the different things from back leads, chod rigs. Here's the thing, if you're fishing a lot on the lock, like I've just been recently doing, the chod rigs now are a must-have, and they have the full components for the chod, and that's a really important thing to get yourself on, because it just presents the bait so well in that heavy silt. So as I said, a quick look at some of the ever-expanding range, and that's just the quarter. Don't forget, they have further down the line, they've got Solar, they've got Guru, they've got Vardis, they've got Gardner Tackle. They've got a whole myriad of stuff here, and as I said, the range is exponentially growing, and more Derek sees anglers in buying stuff and people looking for stuff. He's getting, you know, he's cherry picking the very best of what's out there for his collection to sell. So check it out. And here's another thing, they're also stocking here at a very reasonable very reasonable price. A kilo of boilies. This is from a crowd in the UK called Specimen Cup. Now, they're not very well known, but in fairness, I've been using their boilies, and I have to say they are the perfect consistency, great smell. He does coconut cream, and he also has blended berries. Now, we've used the blended berries on the lot. We were all caught on it. Coconut cream, he has them in, I think, 18s and 14s, I'm not sure, but he has pop-ups and glugs to match. And for a tenner for a kilo of boilies, especially if you're fishing one of the more easier waters like Walslock, Galmolestown, or anywhere like that, these baits are going to be invaluable for a day's fishing. So check them out at Main Irish Angling. I don't think you'll be too disappointed, and the prices are always spectacular.